What's going on, chat? What's going on? We are back. Bang, boom shot, we live. Sango Rich. What's up, guys? What's going on? Happy Thursday. What's going on, guys? Live from the new stew. Sorry, I'm getting the link sent out to the Discord. What's going on, guys? What's good? What a day. What a day. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. What's going on, chat? Mince, Armando, Bahaja Trades. What you played today? I shorted MRVL, played MRVL puts, Chop Bones. What's going on? MRVL puts, and then I also had Schwab puts overnight, Schwab SCHW, which I closed the majority of for over almost 300%, I think 270% on these, which I entered into yesterday. And then I shorted MRVL, the gap up, and then it came out that the news wasn't real news, like that Google chatter was false, and I took 100% on the 51 and 52 puts. So what's going on? Really awesome day. I'm super pleased with it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the new stew. This is it. This is it's so in its infancy, but love the content, flipping off the game for the stream. What's going on? Heaton, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's under construction, guys. This is it's gonna come along, but it's still very, very there's so much to do still. It's crazy. What's going on, guys? I'm just getting the link posted on IG. Just give me 1 second. You gotta put the link out everywhere. Also, just a heads up, if you guys haven't already, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the YouTube and turn on notifications. If you didn't know, if you follow me on X, you're not gonna get the stream links anymore because of the way the algorithm works with YouTube links. So if you want to be notified of these streams in the future, if you enjoy these streams, guys, make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube and have notifications turned on. If you do that, it'll send you a push notification right when we go live. And so all you have to do is actually hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, guys, as always, if you guys enjoy the streams and you want to see more of them, please take the 2 seconds to drop a like on the stream. That helps out a ton, guys. That is literally what makes a difference, allowing us to do these streams and stuff like that. So if you enjoy it, take a couple seconds and hit that like button. During the Giants game, I know it's weird now because I've got to, compete with Thursday night football and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to start doing a lot of streams on Wednesdays during NFL season because college football and NFL, it's funny, but people laugh, but it's it affects viewership for sure. So, but the nice part is these are recorded. So if you want to go back and watch them later, you can do so. Also, I'm going to be doing a giveaway tonight here on the stream. In order to enter, you're just going to have to go like one of my tweets, but I'm going to give away a free month inside the room. And so I'll let you guys know when I do the tweet, or the X post, the post on X. But, I'll let you guys know when I do that. And you guys all you have to do is like the tweet. I'll pick one person that does that to win a free month in the room. What's going on, guys? Just giving everybody a second to kind of get in. All right, what is going on, guys? Yo, free month. Isaac, what's going on, brother? Good to see you in the chat, my man. Justin Kent, do you have a video on the gap fill strategy? No, I don't play gap fills super often. I personally did swing a little bit of the MRVL position because of this daily chart. So if you guys look at the daily chart here on MRVL, we have a huge gap on the daily. And I don't play gaps unless the market's really active in one direction or the other. But right now, obviously the chips are super weak, SMH is rolling over, and so I am personally took a few lotto puts. I don't love playing gaps, but I left some of my position. I sold half my position over 100%, and then I sold another 10% in the close. So I sold 60% total. I left 40 contracts to see if we get this gap fill down to 49.64. This is like one of the more clear gaps I've seen in a long time, though, because you can see we actually ripped here in the end of May on MRVL, and we went from 47 to 67 in a 2-day span. And a lot of times when you get these rollover periods and it's within a certain sector, you'll see a lot of, like, for example, I remember MRVL puts, I think calls went 10,000% at the end of May and into June when that whole move happened, right, on earnings. And so my thought process and kind of my thesis behind this was you've got the gap fill. And a lot of the times, guys, when charts break down, they tend to give you the same move in the other direction, or at least like a very similar move. In S. So I did swing a couple weekly puts here on the MRVL trade. So these went over 100% intraday, though. I alerted these this morning, shorted the gap up off the open, and I traded the 52p and the 51p, and we actually got that news during the middle of the day where it was like AVGO is still going to be Google's provider for chips. And that sent MRVL down to that 52 level. Like I said, I closed 60% of the position. Great call on MRVL today. Thanks, Chop Bones. Appreciate that a ton, man. What's going on, guys? Steve, where you at? Any trial or discount to enter on Discord? Yeah, so right now we are doing a 35% off sale. So if you want to take 35% off and just try it out for a month, obviously all this is, I do a stream like this every day, guys, every single morning inside the Discord. So if you would like to be a part of that and be inside chat during the day, which you can talk to me all day long, you can take 35% off. The code is STREAM35. And I'll tweet the link in a couple of minutes, and you can just like that, or excuse me, you can just use that link and enter the code and take 35% off. If you like it, great. If not, you don't have to stay. So do you know if it's possible to set alerts when buys like this come in, or do you have searches throughout? What a day in the room. Totally worth it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Karen, good to see you. Santiago. All right, what is going on, guys? Everybody's kind of getting rolled into chat. I know we got the game going on right now, but first off, I do want to kind of just welcome everybody. If you haven't tuned into a stream like this before, this is the Thursday night scan. It's been a while since I've done a free stream. Obviously, I've been moving. I didn't even have like a full studio set up over the summer, but finally have gotten into what is going to be a really insane place for a lot of really good content, guys, and I'm really excited to share that with you. I'm really excited to be in like a permanent stew again. It feels really good after 3 months of not. And so I apologize for the kind of absence of streams the last like month or so. However, I wanted to hop on tonight, cover some thoughts, go over a few things that I'm going to be watching personally into tomorrow, and talk about the overall market. We'll walk through some trades that I'm going to be looking at this week and next week, talk about a little bit of a longer term outlook. And I'm going to give you guys my top setup focus for tomorrow as well. So make sure you stick around for that. And also, if you haven't already, you can enter to win a free month in the room by liking the tweet that I just put out. So I just put out the WAP link with the code STREAM35. If you go and like the tweet that I just put out, I'll pick one person at the end of that to get a free month inside the Discord, where I obviously trade live and host a stream like this live every single morning. All you have to do is go like that tweet that I just put out. And if you sign up beforehand, we'll just refund your month or whatever you ended up paying. So if you'd like to be entered to win that, go like the tweet that I just put out. So, all right. With that being said, thank you again for tuning in. Last ask, if you enjoy the free streams, you can just hit that like button for me. It means the world. And if you want to continue to see more of them, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So with that being said, let's kind of get into it, guys. Obviously, chat, this is a rolling like Q&A form. So if you have a question or you want me to cover something in specific, feel free to drop it in the live chat and I will do my best to answer it. Like, you know, as long as it's like nothing like crazy long or drawn out, I'll do my best to answer questions as we go and try to keep it free flowing, but no question is stupid. I had beginner questions all the time, and I wish I had a stream like this to tune into and to watch, chat, because I would have progressed so much faster if I was able to like learn these things from somebody that kind of like knew what they were talking about. And there wasn't really someone that, you know, was out there doing it. And so I'm trying to be that guy, because I know there's a lot of newer traders out there that don't have that like resource where things are easy and feel simple and are conveyed in a way that you can understand. So that's my goal with these streams, is to convey quality information about the things that I'm looking at, and hopefully it helps you. So that's my goal. Sampan, what's going on? Thanks for the like. Why do you think MRVL gapped up? Gapped up off of that Google rumor, which ended up being fake, which was sick because I had put. So, but that's a pretty good example, guys. It's a good question. I like to fade gap ups in this market. It's like the best risk reward when you have a really downside heavy market, and MRVL is a chip name. It was a pretty easy gap up on a Google rumor. I was willing to take the risk with small size, and it ended up paying over 100%. So nice, easy 1K. Could you show how you alert your trades in Discord? Sure. So for example, like today, we can go over here and look. So we do a private Twitter, and we also do it. So like you can see, like sold 60% MRVL, and I'll show my positions like this. So you'll get like a screenshot of my Webull positions. And then like when I alert a trade, it's the same way. Like, and then I'll put like a chart saying like, you can see here on MRVL, like covered initial risk, selling half at 100%, leaving a few runners as we have $3 gap below to the 49 area. Give my thoughts, obviously, on the technical breakdown, and then I'll show exactly my position. Like exited, 90% Schwab, 176%, right? Like I'll kind of give you my exact position so you can not only see, but I'll kind of give you the breakdown, my exact entry and exit as well. So, but enough about alerts. Let's get into the market overall. Hugo, appreciate you, man. Excited to have you in the chat. Cannot wait. All right. So overall market, guys, obviously this has been a really ugly couple of days. We haven't had a day, 1.5% down day in like 6 months, guys. This is a total, obviously, kind of change of character over the last week or so. But guys, the internals were flashing red flags for about a week now, which I've kind of been dropping on Twitter. I try to like keep my bias relatively neutral, but when I'm always trading a certain direction. I'll start the stream off with this. I personally have not been actively trading longs now for a week, right? Personally, because they just are simply not working well, right? Setups are being faded routinely, and therefore, right, I want to be trading alongside the overall trend of the market right now. And if we look at the S&P 500, guys, it's pretty clear, right, where we broke kind of that daily uptrend, right? And then we retested that daily uptrend, and since we've just kind of been in this distribution pattern, right? If you look here on the S&P 500, it's pretty clear. We had a really nice daily uptrend going, got extended from the trend, we sold off, and then look at where this retest occurred, right? Right here at the start of September, and since we've been fading, and now we're testing the August lows, right? So this is a really important spot. Trendline on NVIDIA shows 403 as a potential pivot. I'll go over the NVIDIA chart here in a second and why I'm bearish on the chips as a whole, okay? And it's pretty simple. So first off, though, obviously in the S&P 500, guys, we do have some support here in the August to late June lows in that 429 to 431 area. Personally, I'll give you guys my broad overview thoughts. I'm not going to probably trade the S&P tomorrow because we had such an outsized downside day today. I wouldn't be surprised if we had some type of inside day or consolidation at that 431 area. However, overall, guys, the action that I'm seeing leans significantly more to the downside bias. And this is some of the most bearish price action that I've seen in a very, very long time, right? It's not only nasty price action, but guys, look at the type of structure that we're getting, right? Every time we get like a bullish candle print like this, like, I don't know if you guys saw it. I did, chat, when everybody on Twitter was saying that we had the Dragonfly Doji going into FOMC, right? We had this longer wick, body closed above support. Everyone's bullish, right? Like this is the reversal candle. We're going to retest 452, right? All this. In my mind, I'm thinking there's been zero price action across the board that would support that type of thesis. And look exactly what happened, right? When you print a bullish candle like that, and it is a bullish candle, but this goes to show you that candlesticks are not everything, right? You have to take into account what the overall market is doing. The reason that we saw continuation today is because we sold right through the liquidity on this candle. You see this daily candle from the 19th of September, guys? You see how buyers tried to come in? We got this long lower wick, and then look what happens the very next day, right? We engulf that entire prior day's price action, and we sell right through that liquidity level, right? And that is not only bearish price action, but think about it from a bull's perspective, right? Think about it from the perspective of somebody that bought that candle the day before, right? Now you are underwater on your position, which just creates more selling pressure, right? So when you get a very bullish print like that and then you sell right through it, you're more likely to see continuation the next day because you have a lot of people on the wrong side. Does that make sense, chat? Like you've got all these different people that, are coming in and buying that really bullish print. Guys, that's you can't deny it. It's a good looking candle, right? If we block out these 2 days, you've got a very nice looking candle. Looks like you're going to retest up. And then that happens, right? Same thing happened last week, right? The Friday candle was really what set the precedent for me to be downside biased coming into this week, right? Fake breakout, and then you sell down. But does that make sense? Right. And I don't have guys, I'm not out here SPY going to zero. It's not my game. I'm just looking to trade with the trend, right? And I'm looking to trade with the direction the market's going, right? Direction truly irrelevant. I don't try to sit here and be like, oh, bulls are, screwed, whatever. It's really just, this is what's happening, right? And so I think that until that flips, I'm going to be looking at downside setups primarily. So what times am I live on Twitter and Discord? I'm live every morning at 9:10 a.m. until 11 a.m. Eastern. So for 2 hours, I'm live in the mornings, and then we do a nightly video newsletter. So I film a video just like this to send out to you guys every night. And then I also do a Sunday scan, and then we'll do some post-market live streams throughout the week, which are subscriber exclusive. So that's Twitter and Discord kind of live schedule. But that's a really good example, guys, of seeing continuation off of a very bearish print, right? You get that kind of a bull trap day, and then when you get buyers that are trapped, you create additional selling pressure. And so here we are. All right, so going forward, like I said, we got a decent chunk of support here. I'm probably not going to trade the S&P with it being a Friday tomorrow. There's a couple individual names that I'm looking at, but I think broader term, guys, I think we're going to look towards a test of 4,200 going into the beginning of October. That was such a big level, and it sparked the entire rally this summer. And you've got the IWM well below its 200-day moving average now. So for me, I'm going to be looking for a move towards that 417, 420 area on the S&P personally. So that's what I'm going to be looking for going into the fall. All right, so somebody asked about NVIDIA. What perfect timing, right? Any SPY contracts for tomorrow? Dang, Chad, I just said I'm probably not going to trade the S&P tomorrow. We had a 1.5% down day on a Thursday. I'm probably not. Premiums are going to be jacked tomorrow, so I'm probably going to look at trading individual names that I think offer some better risk to reward personally. But progressing a little bit, let's look at this the NVIDIA weekly. As always, guys, really appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you haven't already, really appreciate you taking the 2 seconds to throw the stream a like. If you would like to be entered to win a free month inside the Discord, you can go and like my most recent tweet. That will also get you can take 35% off with the code STREAM35 on WAP tonight only. And that will also, like I said, be announced at the end of the stream. I'll do it in the replies. If you end up winning and you signed up, we'll refund you the money that you paid on WAP. So that giveaway is live. And you know what? Even on top of that, I'm going to ship whoever wins a free Money Friday hoodie as well. These are the most comfy hoodie I've ever worn. And I wear it every single Thursday night and Friday because I'm superstitious. But it works. I swear by it. It brings the good vibes into a Friday. This NVIDIA weekly is probably one of the best telling indicators on the entire market right now. So somebody just said, I have a feeling they closed NVIDIA over the long-term trend line on the weekly. Personally, I disagree there. That would be probably a 20-point move tomorrow to get it back over the trend line convincingly. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see any support on NVIDIA until 400, which is why I was in those 405 puts. I don't want to talk about it, but I ended up holding Schwab overnight instead. I personally think that the 4-hour in NVIDIA is set up sell side. So I can't see them closing it over, right? Unless you get some type of crazy bounce off of 400, I think you're going to have a lot of trouble trying to close above the weekly trend line on NVIDIA. So I think, again, guys, unless NVIDIA pulls the rabbit out of its hat tomorrow, which, stranger things have happened, but I just don't see it happening in this tape, personally. I just personally don't, right? I think it's just too heavy. If you look, there's a lot of really red flag signs across the entire market. I mean, look at the SMH, right? The SMH is a clear breakdown on the weekly. Okay, guys, this is a bad chart for the overall market. This is distribution, and then you've got a fit, right? You're getting a very clean breakdown. That's the other thing, right? The price action right now to the downside is very clean, very straightforward. It's not trappy. It's working, right? The long side, I think, has been very trappy, right? Maybe have you go through your trades, chat, and really like break it down and say, where am I having trouble and what side have those trades been on, right? If a trade has given you trouble where you entered based on your system, right? And so for me, right, I'm primarily trading based on liquidity traps, liquidity sweeps, whatever, your terminology you want to call it. Go through them, right? Because I had 2 trades that were A+ setups in my system fail last week on the long side. And when that starts happening, when my A+ setup starts to fail on the long side, that's usually giving me a good tell that the market is probably very weak internally because that setup isn't validating. That's usually a very clear sign for me that the market's going to have some further weakness. Where's the man swag page? When are the hoodies going up for sale? If you want a hoodie, you can DM me and you're tuned into the stream. All you gotta do is pay for shipping. I'm not gonna I have so many of these hoodies, guys. It's actually insane. I'm serious. We had the printing company did an entire extra order. So if you want a hoodie, you can just shoot me a DM. If you're tuning in the stream, I got you. I just gotta we'll figure out a way to make it so you just pay for shipping or something like that. So, I have a ton of extra hoodies. So if you want one, they're pretty dope, right? Free Money Friday. I like it. Like I said, I'm superstitious too. But like I said, you've got a very clear breakdown on the SMH. So this is one of the reasons that I personally do not think that NVIDIA will close over that trend line, right? And nobody knows, right? But at the end of the day, I think that you've got a very, very, very heavy look, right? It has done nothing but sell, especially the last 2 days. Or if you sign up for the Discord too, I'll send you a free hoodie on me also. So if you do that and you sign up, just let me know on Twitter. Just shoot me a DM and I'll shoot you out a hoodie tomorrow. All right. So progressing a little bit further, right? I don't want to just talk about NVIDIA. However, I do think that's a very good tell for the overall market, right? I think another thing that I kind of wanted to talk about tonight is I think that you guys, if you haven't picked up on it yet, Amazon's down 11% this week. If that isn't flashing some red flags for you, it probably should. Guys, look what's happening. The best charts on the market are getting literally destroyed. This was a clean chart, right? Prince the 145 candle last week, and look what happens. 11%, guys. 11% in a week. Has anybody looked at the Shopify chart, chat? I swear they're coming for this one because of the name. Look at that. That is not good. That is not good. When you're seeing the names that are concentrated around consumer spending get absolutely not hurt. They're getting killed. These names are getting sniped out of nowhere. Right? SQ, another good example. Man, do you think Coin's going to make a comeback ever with BT? I think Coin's actually held up really well. Look at SQ. SQ's at 45. Coin's still at 72. I think Coin's held up really well. Yeah, and Shop's gotten absolutely murdered, right? So what is this kind of telling you? Another one that's really gotten murdered, which I like for further downside, is W, right? Wayfair, right? Look at there's a theme going on in the current market, guys, and it's that these companies that rely on consumer spending, right, discretionary consumer spending, are getting clapped. That's not a good sign. What is that? The stock market's trying to tell you something, right? And they think that the consumer, right, the average American is going to have a lot less money to spend on, the $78 Shopify order, right, from somebody's TikTok shop, or on, unnecessary furniture, or on their monthly Amazon orders, right? The stock market is sending a clear message that these names in particular are getting very, very much targeted, right, for downside because they have a lot of impending weakness, right? Yeah, exactly. Somebody said we're spending on gas. And I think oil prices are about to roll over big time. We shorted XOM in the Discord this week, and those puts went in the money today. That was a huge trade. I don't know if did anybody see my tweet? I said I think gas prices are about to become very reasonable again. I think oil's rolling over in the next month, big time. This is bad. This is bad right here for oil, right? And so when you see those type of parts of the market too, kind of the last remaining ones to hold up, start to roll, that's a bad sign. Yeah, Exxon was fire. We had the 115 puts at, I think, like 25 a contract, and they went absolutely berserk. I put out the recap for that. If you want to go look at the Exxon trade recap, and also if you're ever like wondering how I go about alerting trades or walking through trades on live during the day in the Discord, or if you just want to go learn and take out some educational content, all the recap videos are on YouTube and on Twitter, so you guys can go through them and learn how I trade and what my system is. So, but you know, the market's sending a clear message here. I think on a lot of things. So, are you playing week out expirations? You know, I have been playing with a week of time a lot more lately. This week, I got a little bit more aggressive. Like I took some weeklies on Schwab. I took some weeklies on MRVL. I like to trade more aggressively in terms of expiration when the market is moving hot, like right now, right? When things are moving like this, I'm much more inclined to trade weeklies because you need, right, these fast-paced moves in order to make a good return on weeklies. If the market's really choppy, one of my best, pro tips is trade with more time, right? Look at a week or 2 weeks or a month out, right? If you're a newer options trader, if you're just starting to trade, like one of my biggest tips is to find one stock that you trade, you want to learn how to trade, like AMD, Apple, right? Some of these names are really good. PLTR is a great one. Google's a great one. And just trade with a month of time and trade one contract and learn how things move and learn how to kind of get acclimated into things. What do you think of IWM over SPY and QQQ? I mean, IWM is sending a clear signal too, right? This is risk off type of price action. And I mean, look at it. We're now below the 200-day convincingly, guys, right? 3 consecutive closes below the 200-day was its death sentence. And you haven't even seen the banks roll over yet, right? And why is this? Because we have yields that are, soaring, right? It's impossible for these higher valuation companies, these growth companies, to survive with yields this high, right? It puts too much pressure on valuations and it draws too much liquidity from the market. FOMO Money said Tesla 9 times. We talked about Tesla last night. Guys, it broke out of the daily uptrend today. Right? And this is a good example. Leaders fall last. Tesla was the last name to hold up. And look what happened, right? This chart's broken now, right? This was the last one to fall. And so I would keep this in the back of your mind that when we do start to get a broader term reversal, like maybe into October, this is a name that I'll definitely be looking to long. But, Tesla in the short term has broken its daily uptrend. It's broken the 4-hour uptrend, and it's closed below the key level for me, which was 261.1. So for me, I'm would primarily be looking short side on this chart, probably back to 242 potentially, right? We're already at 253 after hours, so that happened pretty quickly. So, but that's just my thoughts on Tesla. Personally, I haven't been trading Tesla much because it's a relative strength name, and so if the market was strong, I'd be looking to long it, but it's been really weak. So I'm not going to short like what was the strongest name. There's just no reason. There's just going to be more buyers present. I want to target relative weakness. Now that being said, as I was talking about the overall consumer part of the market that's kind of getting targeted, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. If you're enjoying the stream and you want to see more of these, make sure you take 2 seconds and hit that like button. There's over 100 people in here right now, 150 people. Take the 2 seconds, hit that like button, throw us a subscribe so you get the notifications if I can talk tonight. But as I talk more about the consumer, my top focus for tomorrow. You guys want to know what my top focus is for tomorrow? Any guesses first? You guys can let me know, chat, in the chat. You guys got any guesses? What's my top focus setup for tomorrow? What do you guys think? What is going on, guys? Over 150 people in the chat. What is going on? Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. SMH, coin, some good guesses. Amazon, some good guesses. This one might be a little bit more off the radar. Damn, Cam, you got it. Cam, you got it. Lulu it is. Who said Lulu first? That was a good guess. This is one of the charts, guys, that has my attention. SMCI is another good guess. I do like that chart set up for downside. However, Lulu, guys, this one has my attention on the short side going into tomorrow. No, I know. If you were smart enough to look, you knew what it was. You're right, chat. You're right. Cam, you had it first, though. But yeah, chat. So I think Lulu looks fantastic on the short side, personally. To me, right, we're seeing pops get sold here. It's been in a really tight consolidation pattern. And every time we've broken the 50-day moving average, guys, we've gotten a really nice downside move. I do think that we could potentially get a break of this 50-day into tomorrow, right? And so I don't personally love moving averages on shorter time frames. I'm not like a 9 EMA guy intraday or anything like that, but I do enjoy looking at the 200 and the 50 for some further confluence when I'm scanning for setups. If you don't know how I scan for setups, by the way, the point of these streams, if you've tuned into enough of them, you know, I look at the daily, I look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour and the hourly chart are really my Bible in terms of where I look for entries and exits, and then I'm executing on the 5 and the 15, right? Intraday. So for me, I like the Lulu setup tomorrow potentially for a test of 370 to 375. Obviously, like I mentioned, the charts that have been consumer spending dependent have been really getting come after lately, especially today with Amazon. This would be, in my opinion, kind of like one of those leaders fall last scenarios. But Lulu likes to move on Fridays, and it likes to move big. So again, this 50-day has acted as a pretty major level across the board. We'll see if we find support here tomorrow. My real play here is if we start to dip below that 200-day and we have some overall pressure, the 50-day, I think we could get a really nice move down to that 370 slot. And when it does break the 50-day, it sells hard. So obviously we gapped up on earnings. We've kind of been fading since and just in this really tight pattern. I think we're going to get a big move here. I think that the next week expiration 370 puts are interesting. Personally, I'm probably going to live by the hoodie, play around with some profits for tomorrow. I'm going to look at the 380 puts personally. Can I give you $1 million? Absolutely not. But if you work hard, you might be able to grab it. Meta put might be crazy tomorrow. Yeah, I think the Meta short just looks a little bit crowded. Also, Meta's not one of those names that I actively look to short because it is a relatively stronger name. I'll short it on occasion, but I try to stick with, relative weakness sectors. But as far as Lulu goes, I do think this one looks really interesting for tomorrow, guys. I like the 380 put potential, especially if we get a break below that 50-day moving average, which is sitting at 383.09 right now. So this is going to be a top focus for me going into tomorrow. I like that for potential continuation next week as well. I mentioned MRVL already in that gap. I already swung a few puts there, though. So I think that looks really good. So that's going to be one of my favorites going into tomorrow. Yeah. And yeah, the monthly chart, really big wake up. I think this could have a really nasty close on the monthly too. Now that we're kind of this Pico resistance, especially at that, this is pretty solid risk reward in my opinion. So I'm definitely going to be looking at Lulu tomorrow. I like that one into next week too. That's one I think that can fade a little bit harder as we get into it. Apparently my fantasy team is just absolutely shitting the bed right now. I started Jalen Hyatt tonight, guys. That's looking like a mistake. That's looking like a real mistake. All right, let's get into it a little bit further though. A couple other names that interest me. Like I said, going into tomorrow, obviously the Amazon relative weakness. Rivian Tesla, again, Rivian is coming into this huge daily uptrend. Daily uptrend is at stake into tomorrow. This could be a potential huge setup. I'm actually going to look at the 4 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour here on Rivian. Obviously, we have kind of been abiding by this 4 hour trend, right, since its low in August, right? And we are breaking down through that 4 hour trend as we speak, right? And if you look at its all-time low, which is that 1330 area, right? But we've really had a pretty clean 4 hour uptrend going on, right? And that kind of daily uptrend from the lows too, which we fell out of today, right? If we look kind of broader term at the daily on Rivian, right, we've got a huge breakdown here. And this is the type of breakdown that could potentially really, really see some continuation, right? The reason that I like this chart is you guys can see how we got bought up very aggressively on the daily off of this line. And now that we're breaking down past it, I think that we could see some potential continuation down into this 20 area, maybe even the 1970 zone. So I am going to be watching the 20 puts for next week. This kind of fits into the thought process too, right? Is like, who's going to be buying a $100,000 electric vehicle, when people are kind of struggling to get by as it is, right? And I think that it's obviously that's like really sad and stuff, but that's just I think when you think about if there's a more, dark outlook on the overall economy, this is probably a name that suffers, right? And you have to think about those things too, because they play into the psychology. It's not just the chart. There's themes that go on in the market right now. And I would almost venture to say this is almost like a kind of recessionary theme where you're seeing these companies that are reliant on excess consumer spending really get taken out hard, right? And so Rivian breaking down out of this massive daily trend. And so I think that this looks really set up for a potential test of that 1950 area. I'm going to personally be watching the 21 puts tomorrow and the 20 puts for next week. So those are two things that are going to be on watch for me. What do I think about Google? So Google is a good one. So personally, I'd rather play. Wow, I did not see that today. My Lord. My Lord. So personally, I've been only trading Google upside, and this is a nasty breakdown. For me, though, Google is still in an uptrend on the higher time frames, right? It might be one of the last names that's still in an uptrend, but this would be names I'd be looking to probably play bounces on rather than trying to short. This looks like a pretty attractive retest of that 130 area. Personally, I'm just not looking to trade longs actively and primarily, right? I think that Google's been a nice long focus name the past 2 weeks. But coming into obviously, tomorrow, this is just not an area I really want to mess with super hard. The fact that it gave up 135 though is not a good sign. The AI names are just getting beat, guys. It doesn't look good, right? This is the type of chart. This is not good, right? This is bad action. This is where you start to get, obviously much bigger moves in different sectors. But I think there's probably a legitimate bounce trade here at 129, maybe even the 128 level. But again, I'm just not actively seeking longs right now because they have not been working, right? So maybe that changes in the next couple weeks, maybe not. I think we're on track here probably for some type of early October kind of bottoming. But for now, you guys have heard the phrase, it's short the pops until the trend changes, right? And the theme right now is these charts are breaking out of trends, right? And that's when I want to be putting my foot on the gas more than anything. So to clarify on Rivian, what area are you wanting to see it fail at? That's a good question. So tomorrow, what I would be looking at, right? So Rivian broke out of the broader term daily trend, right? We kind of retested it already today. If we look at the hourly, right, when I'm going to be looking for an entry. Okay, so basically what I would like to see on Rivian would be some type of pop into this 2170 area. And again, the way that I would treat this, right, is I would want it to continue to reject at 2170. I would probably look at the 20 puts or the 21 puts for next week. And my risk on this would be, 15-minute close above 2172, right? So I'd be looking for a rejection of this 2172 to 2180 zone, right, on Rivian, because we've had some really big support here. But when you aggressively break out off a higher time frame trend like the daily like that, guys, oftentimes, right, you see more accelerated downside pressure, right? So I'm mentioning the 2170 area. If we were in a little bit more of a bullish tape, I'd be looking for a retest of 22 and fail. But I'd be looking for that 2173 area to fail, because you can see how they took liquidity at that level, right? And then once that level failed, we got a much larger move to the downside, right, down to 2138. So that's what I'd be looking for. But again, daily trend here on Rivian, I think it is very much so bearish. And it just fell out of the daily trend today, right? So any pops here would be a short focus for me for a move to 1948. Mans, what do you think of some dated calls on UNH? I don't know, man. With the way LLY Lily acted today, that's a bad candle. Shout out TJ and a couple of guys in the Discord chat today got like 600 or 700%, I think, on LLY. So I saw some kid like 5x his account off of like $300 in LLY. So big congrats to them. They murdered this trade inside the chat this morning. I did not catch it. I was in Schwab puts, which went crazy anyway. So, but point being, congrats to those guys. If you guys are watching, you guys murdered that. I saw it. But you know, when I see charts like this, I'm not going to be looking to buy dated calls, you know, within a sector, right? Not until that type of action improves, guys. I need to see the market flip before I'm looking to go long on things personally. But that's just kind of my opinion, right? Is I think this has been one of the times where I've been seeing longs work the least. And I think that, you know, you're really seeing, and that doesn't mean that the charts are going to go straight down, guys. I really want to emphasize that. When I was a beginner, I would hear someone say that, I would be like, okay, well, the market's just going to go straight down, right? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that instead of looking to buy dips at support, I'm going to be looking to short pops into resistance, right? That's how you have to think of it as a newer trader, in my opinion. That's what really flipped my mentality, right? Is when the market is strong and you have strong uptrends on the 4 hour and the daily, I'm looking to buy dips at support to the trend, right? When we're in a more bearish market, for example, that Rivian chart, I'm going to be looking to short green candles, right? When we see pops into resistance, those are the best risk to reward opportunities for me to look at short side trades, right? Does that kind of make sense? You guys know what I'm saying? Like I think that's that was a big learning moment for me, especially options, because they're so volatile, and you can get your butt handed to you so quickly if you don't know what you're doing. But that was a really big learning moment for me, is like learning to trade with the trend, but just look, you know, again, right? Buying dips to support and uptrends and shorting pops to resistance in downtrends, right? That's a pretty like very elementary and simple way to go about it, chat. That's my opinion. That's why we're here. All right, so let's progress. Somebody asked about Netflix. That's a good one. I am so surprised that this was so weak today. I mean, disgusting. It's funny that you mentioned that. I had this open right here as I was looking at it earlier. I cannot believe how weak. This is a good example, guys. Great example of the type of market we're in, right? Netflix had good news today. The writer's strike in Hollywood, chat. Yeah, it looks like it's coming to a close. We're going to start to get some movies back in production, right? Netflix should have ripped on that today. I mean, I think Disney was green today, for God's sakes. But, you know, here we are, Netflix printing the ugliest daily candle of all time. This is just shows you the current conditions of the market. It doesn't matter. Good news getting sold like it's no tomorrow, right? When you're seeing that, that's a good signification of where the market's at, in my opinion, right? I do think Netflix is coming into a broader weekly uptrend. If we look at here, so personally, I'm going to look at Netflix calls if we get down to 373. That would actually be one trade, guys. If we get into 370 on Netflix, that would be this broader term weekly uptrend. You can make me eat my words. This is one trade that I will look at on the long side, because Netflix loves to pop off these weekly trends. We get into that weekly support at 373 on Netflix. I would not short it down here personally, just because of the risk reward. However, if we get to that weekly uptrend at 370, I'd be looking to be a buyer on some calls, right? Would also be a big retest of that prior resistance. So what is going on, chat? Hopefully you guys are having an awesome Thursday night. It is getting late. I've been on stream for over an hour. If you haven't entered the giveaway yet, you can take 35% off the Discord, or you can be entered to win a free month inside the Discord. All you have to do is go like that tweet right there with the WAP link on my Twitter. Right now, I'm going to pick one person right after the stream is done, and you can win a free month, and you'll win a free hoodie. And also, if you do join the Discord tonight, you're also going to get a free Money Friday hoodie in the mail for free. So you can use code STREAM35, all caps. There's 25 spots. I think there's 5 left for the Discord, guys. So 5 of those discounted spots are left. If you want to take 35% off, try out the chat for a month. And we live stream every single day, just like this, every morning to go over a game plan for the day ahead. And we also send out a video newsletter every single night. So that is included. So with that being said, though, I am going to call it a night. I'm going to get some sleep. I want to be in tip-top shape to buy some Lulu 380 puts tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. But it's going to be a beautiful Friday. It's been a fantastic week. Going to have some fun with the day, not take too much stress. Don't ruin a good week on a Friday. That's the rule. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic night. Next stream that we do, the studio will be done. It'll look a lot nicer in here, and the content is about to take a huge level up. So I'm very excited for you guys to see that. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it, as always, from the bottom of my heart, guys. None of this would be possible without you guys. So love having you guys in for the stream. Hopefully I helped you out tonight to make a game plan for tomorrow and next week. Enjoy your evening, guys, and I will see you, of those of you in the Discord, bright and early on the pre-market live tomorrow. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, chat.